All right, guys, these next 2 weeks we're going to be doing standing passing. So I want to make sure, just like we do with everything else, we understand some of the component movements that we're going to work in. So the first drill, we're on our hands and our knees like this. All right, and we're just doing donkey kicks straight up. All right, each leg 5 times each, right? And then the next one is same position, and we're taking our hand. We're going down like this, and we're touching our ear to the mat, like this. And we'll call this thread the needle. Next one is same thing, but instead of threading the needle with our arms, we're threading with our legs, and we're doing sit-out drills. All right, and the next one is we're on hands and our feet, and we're doing back steps. I raise hand, same side foot. I pivot over this knee and I step back. Hand, same side foot, pivot over the knee and step back. All right. The next one we're doing is the monkey shuffle. So I'm putting hand and fist on the ground like this. I'm pivoting around the hand that's made a fist. I'm putting all my weight here and I shuffle. Now hand, fist, and I go the other way. All right, so notice my footwork. I come here, all my weight's in my hand, and my legs get very light, okay? All right, guys, and the last warm-up drill for these next 2 weeks is knee on belly windshield wiper. All right, so the footwork's important. So I'm putting all my weight on my partner's legs, and I'm back here. Now, whatever direction I'm going, that foot comes up, and then I kick out to make a wide step, right? The idea is this inside foot is coming just enough that I can go knee to knee and I'm sliding down, right? So I'm not going so far out that there's a ton of space here, right? I'm going just enough that I can get this here. I'm sliding down to knee on belly, okay? Now what I'm doing is I'm putting both hands on the mat. My weight goes to my hands. Then I go both knees on belly, I windshield wiper, and then I come out wide. And I come up again. I'm going 5 times one direction, 5 times the opposite direction. If I want to go this way, this foot comes up, I come back to get my momentum going, I step wide, I slide down the ramp, hands, knees, windshield wiper, up. All right, guys, this week we are doing some standing guard passing. We're doing from long range, mid range, and then close range. So our 2 mid-range passes, we're going to start with our partners on the back. They're playing this guard right here. All right, the first thing I want to do is pin their feet to the mat. Notice I can grab his feet, he cannot grab my feet. This is what we're saying is long range, okay? Now if it's gi, I'm getting these pants grips here, or if it's no gi, I'm putting my hands on the knees here, okay? Either way, what I'm doing is I'm taking my weight back, and I'm putting all my weight here to pin their legs to the mat, okay? If it's gi, what I'm doing is I'm getting these pocket grips. I'm trying to put my knuckles into their shins. I'm putting all my weight here. Okay, so it's very hard for them to move. Okay, now just like we do with that monkey drill, right? I'm shuffling my feet 90 degrees. I'm going to connect this shoulder to my opponent's hip. All right, I connect my shoulder to the hip. Okay, now Josh, you need to come around here real quick. I've got the pass, but I haven't established control yet. And now to establish control, okay, I need to control this space between my opponent's butt and the heels like this. All right, so first thing I do is I wrap around here tight. I take this knee that's close and I invade that space here. I use this hand here, and I'm securing my low side control, and I'm establishing it for 3 seconds. All right, so one more time from this angle. My partner is up. I grab control of his legs either here or here in a no-gi situation. I put my weight here by driving myself back. I walk 90 degrees. I connect my shoulder to the hips. Here, 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 and I control for 3 seconds before I move on. All right, next long range pass. We come from this angle, please. Same situation, but instead of taking my partner's legs down, I'm taking his knees to his nose. I'm trying to stack him, okay? So here, I grab and I come in. Notice I'm staggering my stance, okay? Because as I come in, I give him access to my legs. I want to give him access to one leg, but not both legs. All right, I establish some tension here, okay? Now, just like we did that footwork with the knee on belly drill, I'm picking a side, okay? I'm going wide, and all I need to do is get my leg here on side of this hip, okay? Now I'm gonna use my shin to slide down the ramp, come to my knee on belly for 3 seconds. All right, thanks. All right, guys, the next 2 passes are mid-range passes. Now, the way we're defining mid-range is, long range I could have access to his feet, and he didn't have access to anything. Now I have access to his hips and his knees. All right, and if I stagger my stance, he might have access to one leg, but certainly not both. Okay, so this is mid-range. All right, so the first one we're doing is Toreando. Okay, so in a gi situation where I can have grips, I'm grabbing knee, and I'm grabbing waist. In a no gi situation, I'm just putting my palm here, palm here. All right, this is about where I put my weight. If my legs are close, this is okay, but I want to have my weight concentrated in my hands for this to work. Okay. Now, what I'm doing is I'm picking a side, the side that has the knee. I'm monkey shuffling at 90 degrees, and I'm putting all my weight on the hand, okay? The hand that's on the knee. Now, I concentrate this even further, and I connect this shoulder to my opponent's hip to drive his hips away from me, like so. All right, and then we're controlling that low mount like we talked about, controlling the space, Josh, here, please, between his butt and his heels, okay? So once we're here, I'm scooping, and I'm putting my knee here to control that low side control. All right, so from this angle, that Toreando pass, I'm picking hip, I'm picking knee, all my weight's on my hands. I pin this knee to the mat by walking 90 degrees. I connect my shoulder to his hip to drive him away. I scoop up, scoop, scoop. My knee's in that space, and I'm pinching here tight for my control. All right, that's our Toreando pass. Next one of my favorites, is the leg drag pass. All right, we're here, and I have access to his legs. I'm gonna go 2-on-1, okay? Before I had one here, now I'm going 2-on-1. I need to get my opponent's hips facing away from the leg that I have control. I can do that one of 2 ways. I can pummel my leg in and stomp, or I can take my shin and come in with my hips back and start to drive down this weight here. Notice I don't have his foot in my pocket. I have it on my belly button as I do this. All right, so 2-on-1, I turn his hips. Notice I got my good posture, my hips forward. All right, now I need to take this foot, I need to put it in this hip, in that pocket. So what I do is I hip out, hip thrust, I put this in my pocket, and now I can connect this knee to the mat, and look, his hips turn away. All right, we call this the shelf position. Now, in a no-gi situation, I just have gripped here. All right, the next point of control is I need to make sure that before I move on, that I have tension here on this knee. So, in a no-gi situation, what I'm doing is I'm putting my weight, pummeling this down, and putting my weight here. All right, in a gi situation, what I like to do is I like to put this here, grab his lapel, introduce some tension here. All right, then all I'm doing is I'm replacing my elbow with my knee as I come for the cross face. If I can get the underhook, that's great. All I really need to do is the cross face and then check the hip. Okay, so those are our 2 mid-range passes. All right, thanks. And then we're gonna do our close range passes. So when we talk about close range, right? I have one leg in between my opponent. He can potentially have access to my legs, right? But I have access to his upper body better. Okay, so the first one we're gonna do is we're gonna do our X pass. All right, so first things first, whatever leg is in between, I'm taking that hand and I'm trying to grab lapel. In a no-gi situation, I'm coming up into the armpit here. All right, the hand that is on the outside, the leg that's on the outside, I'm grabbing this knee either with the paint grip or with this C grip here. Now, the important thing is a lot of people try to do this from up here. Okay, see how high my hips are. I'm not putting any tension in my partner. He can move, he can shrimp out, he can attack, all right? So what I need to do is I need to make sure that my butt is low, and I'm driving my hips in, I'm introducing some tension here, especially if I have a gi where I can pull and push these 2 points together, okay? Now, this is a decent control position, but I need to advance this position. So I'm putting all of my weight on this leg as I donkey kick this leg, all right? So as I have this tension here, my weight goes here, so I can donkey kick this straight back. And I have to very intentionally get this all the way back, because if I half-ass this, my partner's gonna be able to lace their leg in. All right, so I might have to do this a couple of times where I am very forcefully pushing these together, my weight's here, and donkey kick straight back. As soon as I feel that break and my leg clear, I'm making an X. I'm punching this arm through just like I'm doing that Toreando. Here, my weight goes here, break, and I'm pushing away. Okay, it's an X pass because I've made this X with my arms. I'm checking his hip with my sternum. Once I'm here, I'm still keeping this. Shoulder of justice, check the hips, establish my control for 3 seconds. All right, now, last one. It's the same concept. I'm here, I've got one leg in, one leg out, but I've got different grips. In the X pass, I have these grips. In this pass, I have the opposite grips. So the hand that's inside, or the foot that's inside, that hand has this leg, either this pant grip here or this grip here on his leg, okay? The leg that's outside, all right? I have either this here or in a no-gi situation, this here, okay? Again, I need to make sure, right, that I have my hips in and I'm putting some tension here, okay? Now, in the X pass, I was going this way. In this pass, this back step pass, I'm going the opposite way. All right, so as I go, I have to make sure that I connect this knee to my partner's knee here. As I shuffle, I'm putting my weight here to shift his hips moving that way. As I do that, notice how I'm able to get this space here to get my leg out. If I don't put weight here, he can come up to this quarter guard, he can lock it up, and cause me trouble later. All right, so I need to make sure that I keep this tight, and as I do this, I'm coming out here, creating that space, okay? So now what I wanna do is I wanna make this my pivot point. All right, I'm putting all my weight here, and then once I have that, I'm gonna connect my hip to his hip. And I'm sitting out like this. And now this pass is pretty much complete. I can hang out here for a second because all my weight's on him and I have my points of control. In a no-gi situation, cupping like this, okay? Now all I do, right, I go to my shoulder of justice, I walk back, I check my hip for 3 seconds. Thanks, guys.